welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play series, Quest for the Golden Creeper, Season 2, The Rebirth, Episode 50. We've made it to Episode 50, guys, so before I tell you what we're going to be doing in today's episode, let me explain one thing. We are here in the Cactus Farm because we were working on the sugar box packing system in the last episode. I did forget to kind of show the top. I decided to cut that out and just leave it for now. So up here is our sugar box packer. If you remember the Creative World showcase of this system, you know what this is. If not, this is just a simple system that this is where the sugar boxes, empty sugar boxes are stored, and full sugar boxes are stored over here. So that's what this is. And basically, this is the on switch for the entire system. And that's pretty much it. And those are the hoppers and things like that. So, episode 50. I had something planned special, and that fell through. So, we're going to do something else. I'm going to be doing something else because there's some change going to be coming to this channel really soon. Ow! I still love this tunnel. It's so amazing. So the thing that we're going to be doing is something I have needed to do for a very long time, and something that has been in the title of this series since the very beginning, and that is build a gold and XP farm. Woo! So you may be wondering where we are. We're in a creative world right here. This is a design made by El Mango. The original design I was going to use was by a guy named Snow Crash, and he's the predicator of this type of design for a gold and XP farm. This is called a donut design. El Mango decided to try and make his own golden XP farm, as shown right here, and he made a brilliant one. It's very simple, and it's much more simple because in Snow Crash's design you have to use some sticky pistons and slime blocks to get XP up to you because pigmen die of fall damage. And this, it doesn't matter because we have entity cramming. I can show it right here. If I boop and push this guy in right here. If I can get him in. Come on. Come on, you. Come on. Get in the hole. Come on. It's not that hard. There we go. There's entity cramming, and entity cramming is suffocation damage. So that speeds up the process really, really nicely. There is another design that he made, but that is the expert design, and it's very complicated. Complicated as in it's a lot more redstone involved. This is redstoneless, unless you count the storage system. There is absolutely no redstone involved to actually kill the pigmen, which is very nice. And all you have to do is attack one of the pigments to get this to work. And the biome is it? Yeah, so it's very nice. Pigmen will spawn in the daytime and do everything like that. So let's see if I can do a demonstration of it really quickly. Is there snowballs in here? Right in here. Let's get 16. Game mode. It's game mode 0. And let's just grab this. I just need to hit a pigman with it. Right over here. Right over here. Just need to get up, and I just need to throw this over there. Oh, I missed. Oh, it hit. I need to get down here. And you can just watch as they come in. And they fall down. And they will give me XP, as you can see over here. A lot of XP really quickly. Really nice. And efficiently. I think I need to stand right here. There we go. So they will always pathfind to you, and you'll get the XP really easily, and it is a propagating system, so it will always occur, and we'll just get infinite amounts of XP, which is very nice. So, this is what we're going to be doing in today's episode, so let's get back to the world to choose a spot to build this in. So, Now it might make sense why this is gone, why we broke through the bedrock a couple episodes ago. I should really break these 2 blocks over here, because it is very not nice that this happens. Not nice at all. There we go. So I'm planning on putting the gold and XP farm somewhere up here, very relatively close to this spot. I'll definitely be moving it out a few blocks. I think from right here that we're going negative. So let's go out 50. So that's gonna be let's see, 100 would be 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 93 should be 50. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 90 negative 100 negative 93. No, that shouldn't be 50 because that was 24. No, that's not how this works. So 93, let's go back here. 124 we were at right here. 124 minus 50, that would be 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 74. 74 we need to get to. Negative 74, and I think that's where we'll make the ladder to this. And right here, there we go. I'll mark that out right there. And we need to build up. So I need to get some more blocks because I realized I didn't grab any blocks, and we'll start building up to about 128 blocks so that 128 blocks. This is going to be complicated because we're at 128 blocks and the limit is 256. So I'm going to go up 100 blocks, and then we'll worry about spawning down here a little bit later because I'm going to need to spawn proof a lot of this to make it as efficient as possible. So I'll get on to that and be right back. So I have decided that the block I want to use is terracotta, but glazed terracotta. So I came out to the mesa, and El Mango is a very nice guy, and he leaves down how many individual items you actually need. So we need actually a little more than 3 shulker boxes. So about 4 and 3.5. So I'm gonna fill up just 4 in total. And so I brought the beacon over from the cactus farm, and with haste 1 you can insta mine with hardened clay or terracotta with an efficiency 5, so it makes mining for terracotta so much easier and a lot easier. So I'm going to be filling up these 4 shulker boxes, and once I do that, I'm going to be dyeing them all red and cooking it up to make red glazed terracotta, because I think it's going to be a little bit of a cool pattern. I'm going to try and make something a cool pattern to actually use for this farm floor, and then we need to gather some sand to smelt into some glass, which is gonna be really nice and really fun. So, I'm not gonna be doing a time lapse of this. I've decided we'll be doing a time lapse a little bit later with the building of the actual farm. So you have that to look forward to if you love time lapses. So, guys, I will see you guys when I am smelting up all this good old terracotta. I have gathered a lot of terracotta, and I'm gonna begin smelting it in a moment, so we're just gonna turn this on right now. And there we go, and it should be all smelting up. I'm gonna have to monitor that because of how smelting actually works. There's only 1 chest, and that is 2 double chests filled with items, so that's gonna be fun. Now, I got a lot of red dye, as you can see, a little bit too much. I used a little bit too many bones, I would say, but the glass I think I'm gonna use is orange glass. I'm gonna actually go to the list just on my other monitor. It was 24,457 glass, and that's divided by the 200. Divided by 1728, because that's how much items are in a shulker box. We only need about 2 shulker boxes of glass. We had a lot of glass over at the cactus farm because we were going to be using some of it. I don't know how much of it we're actually going to be using. So, oh, there's some iron in there. Might need to take that out. That's going to be handy for another time. But for right now, we're just going to let this smelt up, and then I will be back with you guys when we're building up to the sky to 100 blocks in the nether and begin working on our platform. So I'm almost done gathering up the red terracotta. I realized I was thinking of the black terracotta, not the red, so this won't look as good as I thought it would, but that's okay. I really forgot that the black... I thought the red was what the black terracotta, the glazed terracotta looked like, not the other way around. So we're just finishing up the smelting right over here, and just a few more stacks. So 5 more stacks, and we already have almost another one. So we'll be hopefully done with this shortly, and then once that is done, we're gonna start building it up in the nether just a little bit. I will be using the replay mod and schematica to actually make it a little bit more easier for myself. And I also gotta gather the glass, so I'm gonna do that real quickly, and then we'll continue kicking this right on off, and hopefully having a great time building this thing. So I say. So I'll see you guys on the roof of the nether one. So I've done actually some progress on building the gold farm. I decided to just do a little bit of the smaller stuff, the putting in the mine carts and putting in the killing area instead of doing that on the time-lapse. That I think it would be more interesting to do everything else on the time-lapse, so I just did this now. I've been following Ilmingo's tutorial, that's why, because it's a little bit easier to follow the tutorial, I think, to put this stuff in. So each place contains at least 24 minecarts, so that will kill something with max entity cramming. And we got hoppers under here. And these hoppers can lead into any storage system I want it to. We'll build the storage system down a little ways and probably use droppers to drop the items down and to fall straight down. So that's the plan there. And I just got to do a little bit more work here to get this like fully completed. And I think I will do that in the time lapse. I should actually replace this with glass because that's how everything else is. But for now, I think we'll just jump into the time-lapse and finish off this project. So I hope you guys enjoyed the time-lapse. It looks absolutely amazing. I might change out the red terracotta later. It honestly doesn't look too good. I might change it with red concrete eventually. But that's for another time. So I've done a little bit of work off camera. These, let's go fly up because that's just a little bit important what we've done up here. No. Gotta make sure don't hit anything important. There we go. And over here. So, there is a dropper right here from the feed stations of the items. Right here. There's that drop it down into a cobweb and they slowly fall. I originally realized I didn't need the cobweb, but then I thought through a test, I did a little test, and I realized it's actually kind of important because the dispenser down below for golden swords actually needs it because it spreads out the items just enough so it doesn't get overflown. And I'll show you what I mean by overflown in a minute. This is just a standard dispenser. Hopefully this doesn't really get filled up at all. That would kind of suck if it did. I have really no way of actually like putting a buffer in here at all. What you could do is you could put a hopper minecart up right there where all the minecarts are. Then you can put a hopper right there, put a dropper right there as a buffer. But because of the golden swords, a buffer wouldn't really matter, so maybe a chest or something like that. I don't know. And I've been using some red nether brick just to build up these drop chutes a little bit. Let's just dive down here and go over here. So my original plan was, for the golden swords, was to smelt them down. But in all honesty, right now, this is not a good design for that, because it's just the items for distribution areas and things like that. I will be making probably my own gold farm eventually. This will be the main XP farm now, because this is easier to get to than the Ender farm. But eventually, I want to make my own gold farm with using looting that I design myself. So that's something to look for into the future for. Right now, I'm just going to be tearing up this a little bit and just putting the droppers right here. And just tearing this up a little bit because I need to just make it so that it dispenses into lava, which will be fine and easy. It's a simple system right up here. It's a what is it called? It's a non-stackable item detector. When there's one item in this hopper, it will only activate this. But if there's a stackable item, it will get up to here. And this system should be quick enough that we don't have to worry about the items being stackable and non-stackable and things like that. So that will be really good. And this hopper is locked. And when it's a stackable item, it goes through and goes into this dropper right here. And right now, I've pretty much made it. I just need to put a block right here and right here. And boom, right there to actually dispense out the golden sword into some lava. So I'm gonna have to get some lava real quick, and we'll continue working on that in a minute. But the last thing I'll say, this episode is gonna be a little bit longer because we're gonna get that golden creeper, so we're gonna need to get the storage system up, which is the next thing I'm gonna do. But before that, I'm gonna talk about a plan really quick. This is not the entrance. I need to actually try and start building it over at the entrance. But in my original quest for the golden creeper season 1, I was going to make what was known as Fort Knox, and that was my attempt to make my own gold farm. Didn't go so well because I'm not good. I didn't make it good at all. It was a cool building, but I didn't make it at all. So we're going to try and reattempt to redo that here. I need to do that because that is getting on my nerves. There we go. That looks better, I think. I'm not sure. I'll fix that in a minute. So we're going to make some doorways, and it's going to be this massive building that goes all the way up. And we're going to come in here, and we're just going to see this massive donut and things like that. I'm going to make it grand and cool. I'm not going to just like leave it like this. I want actually it to be like a proper building and such like that. So, that's besides the point. I need to work on figuring out how I want to do this storage system. So, right now the plan is I'm going to build a storage system. I thought I was going to do it down here. I might move it up a little bit onto another platform, but I'm not quite sure. So I need to work on that, and when I'm done with that, I will come back to you guys with an update. You want to know my favorite part about Minecraft? Building. My least favorite part about Minecraft is the fact that it's so dang dark in the nether. It's so annoying. So, welcome back, guys. I've done a lot of stuff off camera, as you can see. I have built a lot, and I have completed the storage system almost all the way. I still have to put in the shulker boxes, which I'm working on right now. But right now, for the moment, let's go into game mode 3, spectator mode, to show you the grander scale of this entire thing. These towers have a purpose. 2 of these towers are item elevators, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to just run through how the system actually works to store the items. So the items will drop all the way down into these hoppers right here on either side. These hoppers will distribute to the 2 angles. So these 2 hoppers right here converge into one hopper line over here, which goes over here, and that's the same for that tower over there. Everything is basically symmetrical to make building a lot easier and just to make it look a lot cleaner. So if we go over here, I'll explain the system really quick. So this was difficult to build, and it was a challenge, and I'm very proud that I did it because I overcame this challenge. And as you can see, this is literally, if you remove that block, you see that comparator. So that was kind of a building challenge and a redstone challenge into one. But this comparator right here, I don't know why it's on subtract mode. I was testing to activate the observer, but that doesn't matter. This comparator, when items flow through, will always be on, which means this observer will detect it once, and it will activate this piston down here. You can't really see it because of that lava, but there's a piston right there, as you can see. And there's a redstone block over there and another piston underneath that observer. It's not rendering for some weird reason. I don't know why, but it pushes that observer up and makes an observer clock and fires all the items out of this dispenser, going up this item elevator. And in here, when you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much lava around, don't worry. This hopper will hopefully pick everything up. There might be a little bit of loss, but we're going to be getting a lot of stuff. So it doesn't really matter at all, to be honest. So, and get into this hopper line and go all the way over here into the storage system where it's being filtered out. I got two zombie pigman heads. I actually have a third up there that I could show off in a minute. And these zombie pigman heads will be filtered out there. Then the gold nuggets, then the rotten flesh, then the golden ingot, then the gold ingot, and then lastly junk items or golden swords. Now, the reason for this, I actually need to get rid of this torch because that is a problem. Because that's not going to allow junk items to go through. There you go. Okay. That crisis is averted for the future. The golden swords are a problem for the storage because these right here are not 100% reliable. As I found, it is not quite accurate because there's so many gold swords. Over here, it will be 100% reliable. And the swords will be put in here just in case there's overflow. There's the chest here, but it's also because it would look really weird without a line of chests over here. Goes all the way down here and dispensed out into lava, where you burn the swords, and that's that. This was took a very long time, a couple of days, I would say, of building and such. I got it. It looks very nice, though, I will say. Same over here. Everything is exactly the same. Nothing is different, which is nice. Spawn proofing I have been focused on heavily, as you can see right here. We're actually beginning the shulker box process, as I said earlier. And the reason why it's over here is because I'll go out of game mode 3 now, because I can just walk up in here, and if I need gold or anything like that, I can just pick it up and go. So that's pretty much what I've done. I'm going to work on finishing the shulker boxes, and then I really would not want to do this. Oh, I might not want to do this time-lapse because it would mess up all the observers in there, and those are kind of important too. I just wish that bug for the observers was not in Forge. It's very annoying because I would love to do a time-lapse. I might still do the time-lapse and I'll fix it in creative mode because it won't take too long in creative mode because I can't burn in creative mode. So I will do a time-lapse for sure because I want you to show it. But you may be wondering, I should address this before we go into that time-lapse of me gathering XP and gathering some gold, maybe getting up to a specific level. I don't know what level. An overnight session probably with the replay mod. The rotten flesh. Why am I storing rotten flesh? Well, here is the thing. Rotten flesh is useless. You can trade it with villagers, but I have a plan for it. So in 1.13, which is coming up, I haven't talked about it much, but it's an amazing update, and I'm so excited. It's so good, and people probably know. And the reason why I'm storing rotten flesh is because of custom crafting in 1.13. Custom crafting in 1.13, I have some plans for, and I need rotten flesh specifically for a certain crafting recipe. And you could try and guess it, but you're probably not gonna. I've been working on these recipes and thinking about it. Also, one recipe I just thought of is coloring shulker boxes is very annoying because you can color shulker boxes, and like if I did this, I can't. It doesn't allow me to color it, and which is very annoying. So I decided that maybe when you craft the shulker box in a crafting inventory, and you have dye, you can put it into the, combine it into the recipe with the sugar shells and the chest, and it will change into that color. So that's something I thought of. Just recipes that will ease of use and make like life a lot easier, I should say, because like sometimes crafting certain things is difficult in Minecraft, but this is why we're storing rotten flesh. So anyways, guys, let me finish up the shulker boxes and I will get onto that time lapse, for then we can build the golden creeper. It's working! I did it! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Oh, I'm running out of rockets. Woo! Okay, so let's get out of there before anything happens. So, I am back, and you may be wondering why I have so many levels. 834. Well, let me explain that really quick. So, I did some testing. I needed to make sure this worked and such, and I tried to do several AFK sessions, but every time, why is there a zombie down here? Why are you down here? Why are you down here? Must have been someone fell or something. Anyhow, I did some tests overnight, and every time, or just a few AFK tests, and it would just stop randomly in the middle of the night. And what I found, I need to get another rocket. So I need to get to an ender chest really quick. What I found was, so the pigment right up there, as you can see, I replaced it from the terracotta, red terracotta, to stained glass. And I totally forgot that the reason I have a pigment head. Woo! I got a lot of pigment heads now. Anyhow, I forgot to wear that. I was gonna do that. You may notice a lot of coal there. I was going for rockets. The reason why is because entities can actually spawn on each other. They can spawn in their own hitboxes. So what was happening was the entities up here, they were spawning, some pigmen were spawning in on the pigmen on these glass stained blocks and kicking them off. And it's very important you actually have 12 pigmen, because that keeps the effect going and going and going on an infinite loop. So that's why that stopped. And you may also notice that there's some more difference over here. Some lines that weren't there, the lava lines. And the reason for that is I've turned all the towers into actual elevators. Each of the sides has its own elevator. The reason for that was there was a lot of backup and like one dropper and such like that. So I decided to split it up to make it less stressful on the system. And that's why there's 4 there, and that's to separate the items out for equally. I made a little staircase here, but let me show you our amount. This is all golden nuggets. This is all rotten flesh, and we don't have any. Oh, and we have one full thing of gold ingots, sugar box full of gold ingots, and we have 58 zombie pigman head, which is nice. Let's go over here, just to show you in comparison. One actually usually gets more than other, I thought. Like this one that has 2. Obviously this one has more. There is a side that's actually favored, as you can tell. There is a side that's actually favored, but that is fantastic. And now I'm just going to take these 2. And I'm going to craft up some golden blocks. And then we'll begin working on finishing this episode off with building the golden creeper. So I've crafted up all the gold blocks, and now I'm just trying to decide where I want to put this thing. This thing is really big, so at the base, it is about, let's see, it's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 13 blocks wide. And like I was thinking about like over here, but is this 13 blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I could make it 13 blocks, so I think that's a good plan. I'm actually gonna dig out this area. I was gonna then put it on there, but I don't think I want to. That just looks a little bit weird. I want this to be grand and very visible throughout the land, so I think we'll just do it right over here. Gonna need a torch it up to spawn proof it. So I'm going to just tear this down a little bit, and I'm going to start building it really quickly. So I've got the platform all out and ready. I've already kind of outlined the area. So the legs are 4 by 8 by 6 high. So that is what I'm going to be doing now. I'm not going to be doing a time lapse, sadly, because I'm too close to my base and I have so many observers in my base that I don't want it to absolutely be wrecked. So I'm just going to build it up, and when I get back, I will show you the final product. It's so beautiful. It is beautiful. Woo! We did it. Yeah! The episode 50 special, and we did it just to show one thing. This is all solid blocks. All solid blocks. A lot of gold blocks, that is for sure. And this is fantastic. Woo! Yeah, that's perfect. We're gonna need to do a little bit of work on the pedestal. Oh, by the way, this coal I got, I mined up a whole sugar box filled of coal ore, and I only got like almost 7 stacks of coal blocks. I was kind of surprised that it was so little. Anyhow, we will be doing some work on this a little later in some later episodes. I think I'm going to make a little more platform to make it look better. But for now, that is going to end off today's episode. Woo! It's fan-freaking-tastic. I am so happy. And I hope you are too. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a lot of work, several hours of AFKing to get all that gold and such. So I will see you guys in the next episode.